because I'm obsessed with space. Um, it's like almost every day I sit with my father and I read about geography, and it's just so amazing for me.
When you're ready, start.
Toddler World Nursery was delighted to employ a trainee 20-year-old Jonathan Brown, as their first male nursery school teacher. He was also the only man who applied for the job, but insists Marjorie Brown.
Marjorie Bowman or Bowman. Marjorie Bowman. Can you ask your grandmother and them to give you some peace and quiet for a second so I can hear you?
Yeah.
Okay. So start again at he was also the only man who applied.
He was also the only man who applied for the job, but insists Marjorie Bowman, head teacher of the toddler world, but for the best applicant. Both boys and girls will benefit from the experience of having a male role model in the nursery, says the mother of two, majority.
Marjorie.
George, sorry,
Marjorie.
Marjorie. Jonathan has always been interested in child care. His own mother is a childminder, and his father is a teacher. I've always helped mom with looking after all the children, he says. I'm used to changing nappies, feeding babies, reading stories, and playing with Lego. But Jonathan is a rare male in a female world. Only 2% of the nursery teachers are men, and this hasn't changed for 10 years. Roger Olsen of the National Nursery Trust said, men are often viewed with anxiety and suspicion in a children's environment, or they're expected to do things in the way women would do them. But men bring different things into childcare, and this has been recognized. Jonathan agrees. He is underqualified. He is qualified under 7S football coach, and plans to introduce football lessons to the nursery for boys and girls. What do Jonathan's friends think about his choice of career? Actually, most of them are pretty cool about it, he says. Though they do make jokes about nappies, and I found that girls are quite are actually quite impressed. So that's good.
Okay. All right. So tell me about a men's world.
Sorry?
Read about a men's world.
Yeah. 10 years ago, there were very few female in air traffic controllers. It was seen as a man's world, but now 25% of air traffic controllers in the UK are women, and the numbers are increasing. Caroline Beck is one of them. She says, I've always been interested in planes because of my dad. He knew a lot about them. For a while, we lived near Heathrow Airport, and we used to watch all the planes taking off and landing. She was determined to be an air traffic controller. The 12 months of training, the exams and air crash simulation exercises were tough, says Caroline, but I was well prepared for my career. What I wasn't prepared for was the reaction of some of the men, especially the older ones. The new women controllers were viewed with suspicion, and they had to work twice as hard to be accepted by their male colleagues. Nowadays, things are better, but women are still in minority. I am the only woman in my team, but I get on well with my colleagues. There are there are still plenty of jokes about women. The men say that we can't read maps, which isn't true, but I generally don't mind. My job is high responsible and stressful. But I know I'm good at it.
Yeah, so if you're good at something, then you should keep doing it, especially if you like it.
Yeah.
Heathrow is how they say that. It's the airport in London. Heathrow Airport. Try saying that. Heathrow.
Heathrow.
Heathrow, yeah. All right. So what do you think? Can you think of a couple of jobs, occupations where you live, where there are more men than women or more women than men?
I would say that when we go fill our petrol, like for cars and stuff, I see generally men there, not women.
All right. It's gas stations and
Yeah,
fill stations. Okay, so mostly men, not women.
yeah.
Oh, that's true. Can you think of a job or an occupation or a career where it's dominated by women and not very many men?
I would say like um, adoption stations, schools, nurseries. Over there, we are generally seeing women and not men's, like that many men.
Mostly teachers are mostly women.
Yeah. 1 second.
You said don't you said adoption agencies, adoption stations? What's that?
Adoption stations, like um, adoption places where we go ahead and adopt kids and dogs. Like
Kids and dogs. You can adopt kids and dogs at the same place.
no, not at the same place, but the adoption stations are different. Like for some we can adopt kids, some we can adopt pets.
Okay, so you have like actual buildings. They're called adoption centers where you can adopt children.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, so there must be a lot of children looking for homes in India.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope I get to visit India one day when all this COVID is over with.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Jonathan was better than the other men who applied for the job. Do you agree with that? Disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, yeah? How many men applied for the job?
Sorry?
How many men applied for the job?
Um, there were none. There were none who applied for the
So
job.
how could he be the best man
Yeah,
for the job?
he's the only one. He's the only man for the
He
job.
was the only one. Only women applied for the job with him.
Yeah.
John has lots of experience looking after small children.
Hmm,
He's only 22.
yeah, yeah.
How's that? How do you know?
Not much, but because his mom was a childminder and his father was a teacher, so he was like almost with children, little children all the time.
Exactly. So he did have quite a bit of experience
Yeah.
for a young man, only 22. The percentage of male nursery school teachers is less now than it was 10 years ago.
It's the same.
It's the same. It hasn't changed for 10 years. That's right. People expect male nursery teachers to behave like female nursery teachers. What do the people think? Most people, not all, but most.
Like men are what most people think is that is they're expected to, like, how do I say that?
So most people believe that men should behave the same as women do in a nursery environment?
Yeah.
Yes, most people think that. but that's not the case. Yeah, the men bring different attitudes and different models, and of course, you can coach sports and different stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
brings something different. What did Jonathan's female friends think about his choice of career?
They thought that that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, so good for him. He might be able to find a girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right, Caroline. The number of air traffic controllers has risen over the past 10 years or still the same?
Prison.
It has risen for sure. Both Caroline and her father are interested in planes.
Yes.
Yes, they used to hang around at the airport. What airport?
Heathrow.
Heathrow, that's right. Caroline wasn't surprised that the male air traffic controllers viewed her with suspicion.
No, she actually didn't think that the reaction of some men was going to be like this.
So she was surprised or she wasn't surprised?
She was surprised.
She was surprised. Quite a few of the quite a few of the women air traffic controllers cannot read maps.
No, that's not true.
How do you know?
Because, like, if we really want to do something, we can do it. That is most, because, like, you need to know maps to work in an air traffic, to be an air traffic controller.
Yeah, exactly. They would have never graduated from their training or their schools if they couldn't read a map. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Would you rather be a air traffic controller or a nursery teacher?
Air traffic controller.
Yeah, you're not afraid of all the buttons?
No.
It's like Adam said, nope. Too many buttons. Too many buttons. I don't want to have to be responsible for a plane crashing. So if you could do any job, what would be your dream job? Excuse me.
My dream job is to be an astronaut.
An astronaut would be the dream job.
Yeah.
Better get some high marks.
Because I'm obsessed with space. It's like almost every day I sit with my father and I read about geography, and it's just so amazing for me. And because since I was young and SST came in, my subjects, most things about space came in, and I always imagined me being in a spaceship and me just knowing so much about space.
I am very much the same way. I find it very interesting and had ambitions like that when I was young too. If you couldn't be an astronaut, what would be your second choice?
My second choice would be a professional badminton player.
Professional badminton player.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a lot is badminton a very big sport in India?
I wouldn't say a really big sport in India, but we just won 2 medals, I think, because of the Tokyo Olympics, which is going on right now, 2021. We just won 2 medals in that in badminton only.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say that badminton was really that much recognized in India, because like the major sport right now is cricket.
Cricket's still number one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Vietnam, for example, football would be number one, but badminton is probably the second most popular sport here.
Yeah.
What would be the second most popular sport in India?
Not sure about that. I think the second would be. I think it would be football or basketball. I'm not sure about that.
Basketball.
It could be either of those.
So what kind of team sports do they have at your school?
School, we have shooting.
Shooting.
Yeah, and we have basketball, we have badminton, we have tennis, we have skating, we have taekwondo,
What kind of skating?
Roller skating.
Roller skating, like the inline skates, the wheels in a line, or the four wheels? Roller skating.
That one is like up to the kids, whatever their parents get them. Because if the kids want to do the four wheels, they can do that one. But it's all with the kids.
I haven't seen people roller skating in a long time. And you said
Yeah.
shooting. What kind of shooting are you talking about?
The one where you just stand straight and then you have the gun, and then you get the board and like those circles, like the dart through a circle thing, and then you have to aim and then shoot.
That they shoot them in the sky and you have to follow them and shoot them.
No.
No.
It's just like a circle, and which has more circles in there, and then it's onto a hook type of thing, and it's really sturdy, and then you just have to shoot and aim.
So you use rifles.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you tried that yet?
No, my father really wants me to do that because he says that I'm not really like a person who can sit calmly, be patient, not move. So he really wants me to do that.
That sounds like quite the experience. I've never heard of shooting practice or sports in schools. But is it illegal to have a gun in India?
I think you need to have a special license. I'm not sure about that.
But people do own guns.
Yeah, some people, like at least 10 people in India, more than 10 people have to have guns in their house. I mean, like, so really big. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You did pretty good. Pretty good. I'll go edit all this and try to post it in the next few days, and then I'll send you your report.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow.
Okay.
Have a nice weekend. We'll see you. Our class didn't change, did it? No interest 27 this Friday night. Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.